Colben Landrew has announced a final 10 schools and scheduled 6 official visits. Colben Landrew was a guy that we were covering a lot in early July, where he had sort of, I don't know, blossomed as a recruit and had a couple big time performances on the AAU circuit. This is a kid that when we first started talking about him this summer was a low 4-star recruit. And in the latest update from Rivals for the 2026 class, he has risen up from 69th nationally all the way up to the number 16 player in the class. He is considered the third best shooting guard in the country. And I think that makes sense. He's looked like a 5-star player pretty much all summer, not a 4-star player. So Colben Landrew's final 10 schools are Purdue, Alabama, Auburn, Georgia, Louisville, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Texas, Texas A&M, and UConn. A lot of SEC schools mixed in there, a lot that we knew were prioritizing him heavily, the football schools. Purdue has been a heavy player here. Louisville and UConn getting involved has my full attention as well. Out of those 10, Colben Landrew has scheduled official visits with 6 of them. Those 6 in succession are Louisville, Mississippi State, Georgia, Texas A&M, Alabama, and Auburn. And he's already visited, I believe, Ole Miss, and I believe he has been to Purdue as well. So not like he is leaving those schools off of any sort of visit trips just because they're not new upcoming visits. I think all 10 of Colben Landrew's 10 have a real chance to win this player. What are your thoughts on all of this? I know you're a big fan of Colben Landrew's game, but any surprises from his final 10 or his list of visits?
So I don't think there's that many surprises. It's actually been really fun. I feel like now that we dipped our toe into like the recruiting scene a little bit more, like you can go back to the first video you and I did of Colben Landrew when it was like, oh, this kid who might be a football player is finally deciding to play basketball, and he was kind of a lower ranked guy, and Purdue was in on him very, very early. And now you look at this list, you have Auburn, Alabama, Texas, Georgia, Louisville, UConn, schools such as that. I think it all makes sense. And Coleman Landrew has been one of the best players on the circuit this summer, and his stock has just rose incredibly high. The size is there, the motor, the skill. He has a lot of tools that I think have gotten to this point that have ascended him to this point. And obviously, you look at a kid who's a high level athlete, both with his prowess on the football field and the basketball. He's a high level athlete, right? So, no, I don't think anything on this list very much surprises me. I think you have a good mix of like some schools on here that I could see him resonating with. I think like you and I pointed out early on, like this is a kid that would love to go to a classic SEC school like a Bama or an Auburn that's like really good at football and also, good basketball programs as well. But you also see some other like high level programs like UConn and Purdue on there as well. So nothing too surprising.
Yeah, it sounds kind of dumb to say, but there are a lot of players that are just basketball recruits who are like, yeah, I want to go somewhere with a good football stadium or something like that. And it's like, yeah, whatever. He's just saying that. This kid like is a football player. So when he talks about like a football game environment, going to a school with a fun football team matters to him, it probably really does. Like, I'm not saying this kid's gonna try and somehow become a two-sport athlete, but like he's a football guy. He that's part of his personality, it's part of his identity and who he is. So when you look up and down this list of the final 10 here, Alabama, Auburn, Georgia, Texas, even Ole Miss to an extent. Texas A&M is a crazy environment. There are schools that are going to be able to put on, the red carpet style show. Come see what we got on a football Saturday. And I'll be interested to see how that affects his recruitment. But as you mentioned, obviously UConn and Purdue, not traditionally football schools. Louisville, I think you could throw that bucket. Teams that are championship caliber in basketball still have a chance here and still have his attention. I want to ask you this, because when he was rated 69th, low mid 4-star, you and I came on and we were like, that's crazy. This is a top 40 kid, stud. He's undervalued. I think the recruiting services agreed. That's how they changed his ranking. I think AAU coaches and teams, people that were watching him on the circuit, agreed. That's why his recruitment has exploded and there's 10 great options for him. But I do want to ask you this. In the latest update, he's 16th. That's very high. And this final list of schools, Alabama, Auburn, Georgia, Louisville, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Purdue, Texas, Texas A&M, and UConn. While there are great teams on this list, there is no Duke, there is no Kentucky, there's no Kansas, there's no North Carolina. The blue bloody types that just sort of go through and pick whatever top 20 recruits they want every year have not tried to insert themselves in this recruitment. Even the schools that he cut that were interested in him do not include the blue bloods. It's like Indiana, Michigan, NC State, Texas Tech. Those were the others that didn't make the final 10. So I guess my question to you is, did he rise so far up the rankings that he's actually now probably a little bit overrated? Or are the Blue Bloods in the wrong here? Are they missing something and they should swoop in and try and get Colben Landrew?
Oh man, do I have to answer that?
Because let's just be real. If you're the 16th best player in the class, you should have some Duke, North Carolina, Kentucky interest. And this kid has SEC schools up and down this. I know Kentucky has other priorities, but it's not exactly tracking like, oh, he's actually a 5-star, 16th best. But the Blue Bloods just don't want to play here. Like, what's the reality here?
I think the reality is more so leaning towards I feel like Coleman Landrew just didn't really pay attention to the Blue Bloods. I feel like there's a little bit of like schools that got in on him early. He's a Georgia kid. He's from that area. Like I feel like some of these schools, these SEC schools, kind of just resonated with him from the start. Maybe had a leg up because he there was like some football interest from these schools as well back when he was set to be a football player. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like more. I don't know if it feels right to lean one way or the other, but I lean more towards. I think this is the Blue Bloods missing out.
Yeah. Okay. Um. Yeah, I don't know. I think they're missing out. Like my analysis would be the Blue Bloods should be recruiting him. I don't think 16th is crazy for Landrew. I think he's good enough. Um. I just wonder why aren't they involved? And I would have a hard time believing it's that Colben is like, nope, no thanks, Blue Bloods. Like if Kentucky calls you or Duke calls you, you go on the visit at minimum, even if you're not going to go there. And
Man, not everyone's wired like that.
if that's how he's wired and he's willingly saying, "Don't call me Blue Bloods," then I guess I applaud that. But I don't think that's what's going on here. I think the highest level schools are like, not for us. And in that sense, he's probably rated higher than he should be. Like a top 16 kid should have at least one blue blood school after him. But again, I don't know. Maybe I'm just misreading things here. So he's a 5-star in my book. If I'm making rankings, he's absolutely a 5-star.
I would like you to end this video before I do a thing.
Well, I got one more question for you, and I kind of want you to do your thing. My question is this. If you are Purdue or Alabama or Auburn, schools that are on record as having recruited him for a long time, Georgia too. It's really been Alabama, Auburn, Georgia, Purdue. Now there you've added Louisville, UConn, Texas, Texas A&M, Mississippi State, Ole Miss in the mix. Which one of those six scares you most?
I think Louisville.
Me too.
Yeah.
Just because like the Pack Kelsey experience right now terrifies me.
He'd be real nice with Louisville. Like you kind of put him as like a two. I mean, I think you could, given his strength and everything else he can do, you could put him at the three at the college level, pairing with two really good guards. That's a great guard, uh, a guard and like wing trio.
Okay. Yeah, I think I agree. It's just kind of crazy saying it out loud that we're more scared of Louisville than UConn right now.
Yeah, but like Pat Kelsey, man,
Yeah, I guess so. Where do you think he goes? If this is the final 10, what happens? How does this play out?
I think he ends up at like a Auburn or a Bama. I've always felt that way, and I just feel like he does.
Yeah.
I feel like he resonates with that. Let's do it though. So, like, uh, what does Tyron Stokes do better than Colben Landrew?
Okay. All right, man. That's crazy, dog. You want a serious answer?
Yeah.
Like a lot of things?
Could you name a few?
I think Stokes is a freakier athlete for starting points. I think
Okay.
he has a better
Is he
frame.
is he that freakier?
Yeah. Think he has a significantly better like NBA frame. Stokes is built like an NBA wing, and Colben Landrew's like 3 inches too short. If Colben
Okay.
Landrew was
Coleman Landrew is what, 6'6"? Tyron Stokes is what, 6'7"?
Colben Landrew looks 6'4", but he's listed at 6'6". Tyron Stokes is listed at 6'7". I think he's really 6'8", probably still growing.
Think. Okay.
Yeah, I do. I do think. I think Tyron Stokes is like a humongous lanky guard, and I think Colben Landrew's a tiny 3/4.
Got it. I'm sure like 6'7", I got to out physical people will work eventually. Sometimes you got to do a little something else. I feel like Colvin Landry's game is a little bit more smooth than Tyron Stokes.
You know you don't have to make every video we do into an anti-Tyron Stokes conversation,
I
right?
don't, but here's what I'm doing. I'm doing right now. This was how I'm coming full circle on this one. The Tyron Stokes thing is shaping up to be a Kentucky Louisville thing. Whichever school doesn't get Stokes, I would certainly take a look at Landry.
Well, I think it's too late for Kentucky. They didn't make the top
Yeah,
10.
they didn't do that, but also like Kentucky's in for Kate. What's his name? Caden Samuels.
Yeah.
Once again, yeah, okay, but yeah, Coleman Landrew is very much deserving of this list and its ranking.
So this is your favorite wing in the class. If you like him more than Stokes and the
No,
other
I don't.
contenders,
No, well, who are the wings?
define them however you want to define them, I guess. I mean, there's a lot of guards in the top of this class that I
Yeah,
would consider.
I think Samuels would be my favorite wing.
You like him more than Landrew.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that little last comment was, well, they got Samuels too. But again, I thought that was saying Landrew better than Samuels in your mind.
Mm-mm.
That's saying Samuels better than Stokes because you like everyone better than Tyron Stokes.
Not everyone. Listen, until I'm still taking Stokes, I would just like to stoke a little conversation. Stoke it.
I think you're making mountains out of molehills right now.
Damn it.